What is up, everyone? This is going to be my quick no-nonsense video of how to change your rotors on a C5 Corvette. That includes the Z06 and the base cars. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because odds are if you're watching this, you're either about to install or in the middle of an installation. First and foremost, let's go over the tools that you're going to be using. You guys are going to need an assortment of 3/8 ratchets. This one extends and it has a swivel head. This one is just a super long 3/8 ratchets. You're going to need a torque wrench of some sort. It doesn't matter if it's 3/8 or 1/2 inch. You're going to use an 18mm wrench, a 19mm socket for your lug nuts or whatever lug nut size, 13/16 socket in both 1/2 inch and 3/8, 15mm socket in both 1/2 inch and 3/8, a 1/2 inch extension, some sort of chisel or flathead screwdriver will work just fine, an assortment of pliers. There are these little rings on the studs that hold the rotors in place. You're going to use these to remove that. Some kind of hammer or something to break the rotors loose from the hubs. A caliper compressor tool, some WD-40 or some kind of penetrating oil, brake parts cleaner. These are optional, but I have a 1/2 inch and 3/8 impact along with a power ratchet. That is it. I'm going to be doing it in my driveway just to show you guys that you don't need a lift, and also that this job is not as intimidating as it may seem. This is the end result. First, I'm going to jack up the car and we are going to get started. I'm only going to show you guys how to do one front and one rear. That's why I jacked it up from this side. If not, I would have jacked it up from the middle in the front of the car. And then you just copy and paste whatever you do on this side to the other side and the back as well. Here you're going to want to turn the wheel to give you access to the bolts in the back. So the first bolts you want to remove are the two 15mm bolts that hold the caliper into place. You're going to want to remove those. I use the power ratchet. After you remove them, you want to remove the brake caliper, set that to the side, remove the pads as well because you're going to be removing the brackets. There are two bolts that hold on the bracket. They are 13/16. They're in the back. I used an impact. You can use, hand tools if you don't have any power tools. And then remove the bracket, set that to the side. I went and sprayed WD-40 down the bolt holes, started hammering it away because my rotor was actually stuck on there, and then you can see it break. And you're going to want to pull that off, clean the area, and go ahead and install your new rotor. Make sure that it's flat against the hub. Then add thread locker to both of the bolts. All the hardware here is going to have thread locker. Set your torque wrench to 125 foot-pounds. Get those bolts started in the back. I just snugged them up with the impacts, then hit them with the torque wrench. Good. Then you install your pads. You're just going to install everything in a reverse order here. Pads, two bolts, 15mm, add some thread locker to those. Compress the pistons because the rotor is thicker than the stock rotor. So you're going to want to compress the pistons just to avoid having any issues when you go to install it. You're going to install it back into place, get those two bolts started, and then snug those up. You're going to want to torque each one of those to 23 foot-pounds. Then you want to turn your wheel back straight, reinstall your wheel, and then after that, you are pretty much done with the front. We're going to be moving on to the back of the car. Same procedure, remove the wheel. And then you're going to look at the brackets in the back. These are a little bit different because they don't have a hex on the guide pin. I used a set of channel locks to stop the guide pins from moving. You can use whatever you want. The idea here is just that you don't want the guide pin to spin while you're trying to break the bolt loose. And then once you break those loose, you're going to want to remove your caliper, remove the two pads as well. And then same procedure, there are the 13/16 bolts in the back. These are a little bit more difficult to break because you can't move the hub side to side like you can with the front to give you some more leverage. Eventually you are going to be able to break those free. You can fit an impact in there. I chose to break them free with the hand tools first before using an impact because I didn't want to break them and cause issues later down the road. But once you remove those, this is the little ring that I was talking about that goes around the stud. I don't want to remove those. I didn't reinstall them. You can buy brand new ones if you want. Then same kind of concept, spray some WD-40 to help break it, hit it with a hammer, and you'll see it break free. After it breaks free, make sure your e-brake is not engaged. remove that, clean off your e-brake pads. After you clean them, you're just going to reinstall everything back in the same order by compressing the piston. You're going to install your rotor. This one's a little bit weird and hard to get on because of the e-brake pads, but it'll snap into place. Once it does, add thread locker to all of your hardware. These have the exact same torque specs, so 125 foot-pounds for the back and 23 foot-pounds for the guide pin bolts. After successfully torquing the 2 rear bolts, you're going to want to put your wheel back on, put your lug nuts on, and torque those to 100 foot-pounds. And then repeat everything in the same order on the opposite side, and then you are done. That is the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to smash that like button. For more Corvette stuff, go ahead and follow me. I also have this bagged and bodied C10. This is the LS motor that is going to be going in that truck. And in a future episode, I will also be installing a double din in my Corvette. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.